Unfortunate that the people that are said to be taking Ingonyama Trust to court, they went to the media first. I'm not sure whether the media is the court, because once the matter is before court, it becomes sub judice, meaning that you cannot try that case in the public domain as it's currently happening. What they are trying to do is to unduly influence the court, because the perception already created is that we've done something wrong, which is not the case. So, as a principle, I want to state categorically that whatever is said against Ingonyama Trust will be responded to in the appropriate forum. The allegations made are completely misplaced based on ignorance. We received the papers after the media had already had this as frontline news. We only received the papers yesterday on Thursday after lunch hour. We will approach our lawyers. We will vigorously defend this matter, because these NGOs want to justify their continued funding by foreign donors that they are doing something for the benefit of the people. The Institute of Customary Law has been here for centuries. Yes, there are areas that need addressed to conform with modern practices. But it's quite amazing that an institution like CASAC, which purports to protect the Constitution, will try to fight for racially based legislation, which was abolished before the first ever democratic elections. We will therefore put an appropriate case in court to show that this case has nothing to do with the people, but has got everything to do with the perception they want to create against the Zulu monarch, against Ingonyama Trust, against people who live on communal land, and also to appease their donors.
They say you should stop, you should be interdicted from Ingonyama Trust collecting money and also from inducing people to convert their permission to occupy into lease agreements. Number one, has the trust done that, to convert permission to occupy into lease agreements?
That's why I'm saying I'm not going to try this case in the media. I will respond at the right time in court and give a correct perspective, because the question is based on ignorance. The allegation is based on ignorance. When people want, because the permission to occupy is a racist legislation which was an insult to the African people, and that insult continues today by those who purport to act in the best interest of people.
Another issue here is that the trust collects money, and then they say that money is a rip-off when it comes to people who live in communal land because they can't afford to pay rent.
We will hear that evidence and also show how misinformed that argument will be. But we'll go to court. The media, I'm not sure whether is exempt from the rule of sub judice, that the media becomes an extended court and wants to jump ahead and give improper evidence or undue influence to the people who will decide the case. I think the sooner the media also abides by the principles that govern all of us, it will stop being an extension of these NGOs with ulterior motives.
They also say you are oppressing women because lease agreements are being signed by men. They say you are oppressing women based on gender.
That is why you've got women as plaintiffs there. If a woman is a plaintiff saying she's being ripped off, she must have signed a lease.
So you are disputing that?
I will put my case before court because we are not here in court yet.
Judge, perhaps in closing, there is this general negative perception about the trust that basically, number one, there are those who are calling for the trust to be abolished because they are putting forward all sorts of arguments, one of them being that they argue and allege that you do not represent the interest of ordinary people, but it's all about amassing wealth in the name of people and land. How would you respond to that general criticism about the trust itself and not representing the interest of the people?
you would understand that the people who create that perception is the media and the NGOs that have got ulterior motive. Most people who vote in this province live on Ingonyama Trust land. Those people are able to cast their vote to put the government in place. They are not being spoken for by the media. But the media is praying for its supper. If that perception only comes from English media,